On a cold November night in 1971, a man wearing a dark suit leaped from the aft stairs of a commercial airliner into total darkness. The FBI spent 45 years investigating the case before officially closing the file in 2016, leaving the true identity of the man behind the heist unknown. How did a lone passenger pull off a flawless mid-air escape? And could the discovery of a rare artifact in a family shed finally provide the answer? The timeline begins on November 24, 1971. A man using the alias Dan Cooper paid cash for a one-way ticket from Portland to Seattle at the Northwest Orient Airlines counter. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper passed a note to a flight attendant. It contained a direct threat. "I have a bomb in this briefcase. I am hijacking this plane." His demands were specific: $200,000 in $20 bills and 4 parachutes, 2 primaries and 2 reserves. Cooper requested multiple parachutes to imply he might force a hostage to jump with him. This tactical choice prevented authorities from intentionally providing sabotaged or dummy equipment, as they couldn't risk a crew member's life on a tampered chute. The airline met these demands while the plane sat on a wet runway in Seattle, delivering the cash and parachutes. Cooper released all 36 passengers in exchange for the ransom, but he kept a skeleton flight crew on board. He then ordered the pilots back into the air, demanding a flight path that would take the aircraft toward Mexico City. He dictated the exact flight configuration, ordering the crew to keep the landing gear down, the wing flaps extended, and the altitude restricted to 10,000 feet. These specific parameters transformed the commercial Boeing 727 into a specialized jump platform, allowing for a manual exit at a speed and altitude manageable for a skydiver. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, Cooper lowered the rear stairs and jumped into a freezing rainstorm over the Washington wilderness. Air traffic control and military radar tracked the aircraft throughout the flight, recording its movement along a specific aerial corridor known as Victor 23. Years after the jump, a critical piece of physical evidence was found on the ground: an instruction placard that had been attached to the interior of the plane's aft stairs. The placard was discovered near Toutle, Washington. Its location aligns with the radar data, proving that the aircraft remained strictly within the Victor 23 corridor during the jump window. Based on this verified path, the FBI conducted a massive ground search of the rugged terrain, looking for any sign of the man or his equipment. Despite having a confirmed flight path and a calculated drop zone, investigators found no trace of the hijacker, of his parachute, or the bulk of the money. The lack of physical clues led to decades of public speculation, fueling thousands of tips and several high-profile fraudulent claims. In 1972, federal agents exposed an extortion scheme by William John Lewis, who attempted to sell a fake Cooper confession and forged ransom bills to a national news magazine. A genuine break finally came in 1980, when a young boy found $5,800 of the ransom cash buried in the sand on Tena Bar, along the Columbia River. The discovery site presented a major problem. Tena Bar is located 20 miles west of the radar-verified flight path. This gap led to 2 competing theories. Either the money washed down the river naturally over 9 years, or it was manually transported and buried by someone after the jump. The Tena Bar money is a significant contradiction. It is physical proof of the crime, yet its location suggests the hijacker ended up miles away from the tracked flight path. While the FBI ended its active investigation years ago, modern researchers have utilized profiling and archival evidence to identify 2 primary suspects. The first is Richard McCoy, a Vietnam veteran who hijacked a commercial jet in Utah just months after the Cooper case, using an identical method to jump from the rear stairs. In 2024, McCoy's siblings claim to have found a parachute in their mother's shed that matches the type given to Cooper, a lead that has reportedly reignited interest from federal investigators. The second suspect is Robert Rackstraw, a former Army pilot with extensive specialized training in helicopter flight and parachuting. A cold case team identified 9 distinct points of physical match between Rackstraw's 1970 military ID photo and the FBI's composite sketches, including the bra line, chin, and ear shape. Though the FBI case is closed, the work of citizen sleuths continues to produce new evidence, ensuring that the search for the man behind the alias remains active. The central question remains: did the hijacker survive the jump to spend the ransom, or was he lost to the wilderness that night? Tell us in the comments which suspect you find most compelling, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. Whether the man was Richard McCoy, Robert Rackstraw, or an unidentified passenger, the 1971 hijacking remains the only commercial skyjacking in American history to go completely unsolved.